Jay Jant, let's do this. Let's play. Let's do it again. Let's run it back. Arjun was asking about 3 books, which I found useful on my road to IM. Yeah, kind of a generic question, but I can highly recommend, very appropriately titled, Amateur to IM by Grandmaster Jonathan Hawkins. He was an IM when he wrote the book, and he basically talks about all of the things that were useful to him. Why did I play this way? I said I was going to play Jobava London, and I played c4. Okay, but my opponent's playing a dubious move here, so this is turning out well. So yeah, Amateur to IM is a great one. I would say for me personally, also Vladimir Kramnik's autobiography, Kramnik, My Life in Games, was really helpful. What other books? Dvoretsky's Endgame Manual to an extent. Imagination in Chess. That was a book I really liked. Very high-level book, but great for calculation. There's also a little book called The Positional Chess Handbook. You can find it for like $10 USD on the internet, on like Amazon. That one was pretty helpful, and it has some terrible printing. Like the diagrams are bad, and it's descriptive notation, but it's just like bite-sized little strategic positional things you can work through that I found to be very, very useful and have stuck in my head. Okay, so yeah, here, if I give a check, just thinking if my opponent's going to run King E7 and how I would react to that. Because I could also think about playing Knight B5 here. Knight B5, Knight A6, Queen A4 actually looks really dangerous. But I guess the problem is just here against that, huh? Because Bishop B5 would be the normal move in this position. I can also even take here. Maybe the way is check, King E7, then take. Rook takes, and then Knight E5 with unstoppable Knight C6. That's going to fork something. But it's an interesting little move order dilemma here, because I feel I might have something even better. No, I think that's the way to go. Check. And now here, to me, it looks like King E7 is the only move for black. If Knight D7, I play Knight E5 or take first and then Knight E5, and black's going to lose material. So you hate to have to play this move. It looks super awkward. You can't castle anymore, but I think that's forced. But sometimes it can be difficult. Yeah, I'll show the line after the game. Sometimes it can be difficult to actually find a knockout after a move like King E7. So here I just have to decide if I want to take first and then play Knight E5 or do this. If I go Knight E5 right away, there's Knight F6, and although I can play to remove the defender, I think it's just cleaner to take this way. So let's do it. And we're jumping up with a pin. Yeah, sure thing, Arjun. Oh. Didn't tell my opponent hello. Hello to G Jant. Okay. Yeah, the way this played out is very similar to a line I have in my free D4 course on Chessable. I call it the faulty Slav line, where black tries to play this bishop F5 move early on. If you're playing bishop F5 in a D4, D5 symmetric position, if you're playing that move early on, you got to double check Queen B3. Queen B3 is the move that can often hurt you because of the awkward double attack there. Sometimes it'll be correct to play it, especially if white does not move their C pawn. A lot of times it'll get you in trouble. Okay, so I can take on D7. I can also take with the knight and prevent castling. I think I probably will take with the knight. Because black cannot castle through check. Black would be passing through the F8 square. That would be illegal. You say hello before the last punch, John. That is bad attitude. You might have a point, Tafaska. like if this were over the board game, I'm only accepting their handshake to start the game, like right when I'm about to checkmate them. All right, so I've got a bunch of discoveries here. This one being the most obvious, I'd say, to go after the rook. What if I throw in g4 though? G4 is like a funny like throw sand in my opponent's eyes move. Because if bishop takes, I can take here, double check, and then go after the bishop. And if there, now the e6 pawn is weak. Okay, this is becoming a little cruel now. I don't think I have forced mate yet, but let's just do this. And bishop f7 is very natural, but now knight e5 is a winner. Oh, wait, do I have even... I'm trying to get like a bishop h6 mate in somehow, but I don't think it's happening. Nah, I don't think it's happening. That's too bad. Too bad. We have to go for the conventional mate on f7. Thank you very much, G-Jant. Yeah, so I think you got to go king e7 after bishop b5 check. Let's just see if the engine approves of that move. It does. I would play king e7. I guess the engine says it doesn't make much of a difference in terms of the eval. Knight h4. Wow, interesting. What about this line? Here, take. Okay, check. Okay, so just drive the king out. And then just bring the queen back. That's a nifty little sequence, because then the queen is under attack. And also white's threatening like knight e5, knight h4. I guess the king is just going to perish, most likely. No problem, G-Jant. Yeah, it's easy to get in trouble in this bishop f5 line. So, yeah, you should play knight c6 here. Just stick to the main line. Yeah, you can see the best move after queen b3 is actually for black to bring the bishop back and say, all right, I admit my mistake. I'm just going to defend this pawn and keep this one protected. Yeah, I didn't go for the pawn on b7. I just like threw the bishop out here, but I probably should take. White loses some momentum there, but that is a pawn. I can also play e4 right away if I want, apparently. Yeah, and after this... Oh, knight b5 is good. Wait, knight b5... Yeah, this is a better version of what happened in the game. Hit this, and also double checks with the knight being threatened. Okay, interesting. Thanks for the game.